The harbor lies quiet beneath the dimming sky. Stone walls curve along the waterline, worn smooth by salt and time. A few wooden vessels rest against the docks, their hulls dark with seawater, their sails folded away for the night. The air smells of wet rope, timber, old canvas. Somewhere, a gull calls once, then falls silent. The licht has changed. What was gold an hour ago now softens into gray. Shadows lengthen across the stones. The water barely moves, just a slow rise, a slow fall, as if the sea itself is settling into rest. A lantern flickers to life near the warehouse door. Then another, farther along the quay. Small flames behind glass, steady in the stillness. A man crosses the dock, carrying a coil of rope over his shoulder. His footsteps are soft thuds on worn planks. He does not hurry. There is no need. The day's work is nearly done. He loops the rope around a post, pulls it snug, checks the knot with his fingers. Then he straightens, wipes his hands on his tunic, looks out at the water. For a moment, he simply stands there. The harbor holds him in its quiet. Another figure moves near the edge of the stone pier. A woman in a gray cloak, her hood half raised. She carries a basket, empty now, the woven reeds pale against her side. She walks slowly, her gaze on the ground, careful where the stones are uneven. She does not speak to the man with the rope. She does not need to. They share the same rhythm, the same winding down of the day. The gulls have mostly gone. One or two remain, perched on the peak of a roof, their white feathers catching the last traces of light. They do not call. They tuck their heads low, waiting for full dark. The wind is gentle here, barely a breath. It moves across the water, touches the furled sails, stirs the edge of a canvas tarp left folded near the dockside. A ship creaks, just once, the sound of wood adjusting to stillness. The vessel sits low in the water. Its cargo holds empty after the day's unloading. Barnacles cling to the waterline, dark clusters against the wet planks. A single rope trails from the bow into the harbor, slack now, drifting slightly with the tide. Behind the docks, the warehouse doors stand open. Inside, barrels are stacked in rows. Sacks of grain lean against the far wall. The air there is cooler, heavy with the smell of dried fish, old wood, dust. A cat moves through the shadows, soundless. It pauses near a barrel, listens, then continues on. No one calls to it, no one watches. It is part of the harbor, like the stones, like the water. An older man sits on a low stool near the harbor master's hut. His back rests against the rough stone wall. His eyes are half closed. He holds a cup in one hand, something warm, steam rising faintly in the cooling air. He lifts it to his lips, drinks slowly, sets it down on the step beside him. His breathing is steady. He has seen this evening 1,000 times before. It does not surprise him. It does not disappoint him. It simply is. The water laps against the stone steps that lead down to the harbor floor. Each wave is small, unhurried. The sound is rhythmic, predictable. Lap, pause, lap, pause. The stones glisten where the water touches them. Patches of moss cling to the lower steps, dark green, soft. No one walks there now. The tide is neither rising nor falling with any urgency. It simply moves, as it always has. A boy appears at the corner of the warehouse, carrying a wooden crate under one arm. He is perhaps 12, maybe younger. His sleeves are rolled to the elbows. His hair is dark, windblown. He sets the crate down near a stack of others, checks that it is level, then straightens. He wipes his forehead with the back of his hand. His work is done for the day. He lingers a moment, looking at the ships, at the water, at the sky. Then he turns, walks back toward the narrow street that leads away from the harbor. His footsteps fade into the distance. The lanterns sway very gently, though there is almost no wind. Their light falls in soft circles on the dock, on the ropes, on the wet stones. The flames do not flicker much. They burn low, calm, constant. The glass that holds them is clouded with salt, scratched by years of use. The light they cast is warm, amber, forgiving. A sailor steps out from the doorway of a small building set back from the water. He stretches his arms above his head, rolls his shoulders. He has been resting. His face is weathered, lined by sun, by wind, by years at sea. He walks toward the dock with an easy gait, his boots heavy on the ground. He stops at the edge, looks down at the water. He does not speak. He simply watches. After a time, he turns, walks back the way he came. The door closes softly behind him. The sky deepens. What was gray becomes something darker, softer, closer to blue-black. The first stars appear, faint at first, then clearer. They are scattered unevenly across the sky, pinpoints of light that do not move, do not change. The moon has not yet risen. The harbor waits for it, patient, unhurried. A rope creaks as it tightens, then loosens again. The sound is small, insignificant, but it carries in the stillness. Another ship shifts slightly against the dock, adjusting to the water's slow movement. The wood groans faintly, settles. The vessel is old, its paint chipped, its timbers scarred, but it is sound. It has made this journey many times. It will make it again. Near the far end of the quay, a cart stands abandoned. Its wheels are worn, its bed scattered with straw. No one comes to claim it. It will remain there through the night, a silent shape against the stone. By morning, it will be gone, pulled away to begin another day's work. But for now, it rests. The water reflects the lantern light in long, wavering lines. The surface is almost still. A piece of driftwood floats past, pale against the dark water. It moves slowly, turning as it drifts. No one notices. It reaches the edge of the harbor, nudges against the stone, then continues on, carried by the current toward the open sea. The woman in the gray cloak has disappeared. So has the man with the rope. The boy is gone. The sailor has returned to his rest. The harbor is emptying, not in haste, but in the natural way of things. People return to their homes, to their meals, to their beds. The harbor does not hold them. It releases them without ceremony. A door closes somewhere behind the warehouses. A voice calls out, low, indistinct. Another voice answers. Then silence again. The sounds of the day are fading. The harbor absorbs them, one by one, until only the essential sounds remain. Water, wind, the creak of wood, the soft hiss of a lantern flame. The moon appears at last, low on the horizon. It is pale, nearly full, its light cool compared to the warmth of the lanterns. It rises slowly, climbing into the darkening sky. Its reflection spreads across the water, a wide path of silver that shifts with every small wave. The harbor changes under its light. Edges soften, shadows deepen. Everything becomes quieter, slower, stiller. A small boat is tied to a post near the stone steps. It rocks gently, side to side, side to side. The rope that holds it is frayed at the edges, but still strong. The boat is empty, its oars laid flat across the benches. Water pools in the bottom, a shallow layer that catches the moonlight. No one will take the boat out tonight. It will remain here rocking, waiting until morning. The wind picks up slightly, then fades again. It brushes across the harbor, touches the furled sails, stirs the surface of the water. Then it is gone. The stillness returns. The harbor settles back into itself, undisturbed. An older sailor walks along the dock, his gait slow, uneven. He carries a lantern in one hand, holding it low. The light moves with him, casting long shadows that stretch across the planks. He stops near a pile of netting, sets the lantern down, kneels. His hands move over the net, checking for tears, for weak spots. He finds one, pulls a length of cord from his belt, begins to mend it. His fingers are thick, calloused, but they move with practiced ease. He does not rush. The work is familiar. He has done it 1,000 times. The water is darker now. The light from the lanterns does not reach as far. The surface looks smooth, almost glassy, broken only by the faint ripples where the tide moves against the stone. The sound is softer now, a whisper rather than a rhythm. The harbor is settling into night. A bird calls from somewhere in the distance. Not a gull, something smaller, quieter. The sound drifts across the water, then fades. No other bird answers. The silence returns, deeper than before. The sailor finishes his work on the net. He stands, lifts the lantern, continues along the dock. His footsteps are slow, measured. He reaches the end of the quay, pauses, looks back at the harbor. the ships, the water, the moon. Then he turns, walks toward the buildings, his light fading as he goes. Another lantern is extinguished, then another. The harbor grows darker. Only a few flames remain, scattered along the docks, their light small, contained. They will burn through the night, keeping watch over the moored ships, the empty docks, the quiet water. The stones are cool now. The warmth of the day has left them. The air is cooler too, carrying the scent of the sea, of salt, of distance. The harbor breathes it in, holds it, releases it slowly. A fish breaks the surface of the water, just once. A small splash, a ripple spreading outward. Then nothing. The water smooths itself again, as if nothing had happened. The moon climbs higher. Its light strengthens. The harbor is bathed in silver now. The stones pale. The water dark but luminous. Shadows pool in corners, beneath the eaves of buildings, under the docks. The world is divided into light shadow, nothing between. The rope that holds the small boat creaks. The boat rocks. The water laps. The wind breathes. The harbor waits. A figure stands at the edge of the quay, looking out toward the open sea. Too far to see clearly, just a shape against the moonlight. They do not move. They simply stand, watching. After a long while, they turn, walk away. Their footsteps fade. The harbor is empty again. The night deepens. The stars are bright now, sharp against the black sky. They do not flicker. They do not move. They watch over the harbor, as they have for countless nights before. The water is calm. The docks are still. The ships rest. The lanterns burn low. The harbor holds its breath, waiting for dawn. But dawn is far away. There is only this, the quiet, the stillness, the slow passage of time. The harbor at night, settling into sleep. The moon moves across the sky, slow, steady, inevitable. Its light shifts, changes the shapes of shadows, the reflections on the water. The harbor shifts with it, responding without effort, without thought. A rope creaks, a lantern sways, the water whispers against the stones. These are the sounds of the harbor at night. Small sounds, gentle sounds, the sounds of things at rest. The wind returns, just barely. It touches the surface of the water, moves on. It does not disturb. It does not wake. It simply passes through, leaving everything as it was. The harbor is timeless now. It could be any night, any century. The stone walls, the wooden docks, the quiet ships, they have always been here. They will always be here. The people come, they go. The harbor remains. A single lantern still burns near the harbor master's hut. Its light is low, almost gone. The flame dips, rises, dips again. It will burn until morning, or until the oil runs out. whichever comes first. The harbor does not depend on it. The harbor has the moon. The water moves in its slow rhythm. Rise, fall, rise, fall. It does not tire. It does not stop. It is the heartbeat of the harbor, steady, eternal. The stones remember the warmth of the sun. They will remember it until the sun returns. For now, they are cool, patient. They hold the weight of the buildings, the docks, the walls. They do not complain. They simply hold. The night is long, but the harbor does not mind. It knows how to wait. It has always known. A shadow moves across the water, just the moon passing behind a thin cloud. The light dims for a moment, then returns. The harbor remains unchanged. The ships creak, settle, creak again. They are dreaming of the open sea, of wind in their sails, of distant shores. But for now, they are here, tied to the docks, held by rope, by anchor, by the stillness of the harbor. The air is soft now, cool but not cold. It wraps around the harbor like a blanket, gentle, protective. The harbor breathes it in, slowly, deeply. The last lantern flickers. The flame grows small, smaller. Then it steadies. It will last. It will keep watch. The water reflects the stars now, scattered points of light that waver, shift, never quite still. The harbor holds them all, the moon, the stars, the lanterns, the ships. It holds them without effort, without thought. The night deepens further. The harbor sinks into silence. Only the water remains, moving, always moving. Rise, fall, rise, fall. The sound of the sea, the sound of time, the sound of peace. The harbor sleeps. The water dreams. The moon watches over all, and the night goes on.